It was a typical Friday afternoon during our math class, and like most students, we were eagerly awaiting the weekend. Our teacher, Mr. Thompson, a relaxed and easygoing guy, decided to break up the routine and let us play some online games. As we were having fun with a brand logo quiz, the atmosphere suddenly shifted when the principal's voice blared over the loudspeaker. He was clearly rattled, urgently telling all teachers to go into lockdown immediately. This was no drill. The room went dead silent. Mr. Thompson quickly rushed to turn off the lights, and we all huddled together in the corner of the room, tension mounting in the air. Moments later, the usual hum from the panel in the back of the room stopped, signaling that the school had cut the power. It was like the entire place went dark, and the seriousness of the situation began to sink in. Then we heard it. A man's loud, frantic voice, coming closer down the hallway. My heart started racing as his screams grew louder. The man's voice echoed through the halls, banging on the lockers, yelling threats like, "I'll kill all of you." As the noise got closer, the fear in the room became palpable. The banging continued on our classroom door, and one of the girls, Sarah, screamed. The man kept pounding and shouting, and I saw the others starting to cry. The pounding seemed endless, but finally, the noise faded, but the man's voice moved further down the hallway. After what felt like forever, the principal's voice came through the loudspeaker again, explaining that an unstable man had entered the building and assaulted a staff member. The staff wasn't sure if he was armed, and in the school, which lacked proper security systems, was vulnerable to such incidents. The school staff searched the halls and classrooms, but they couldn't find him. The principal instructed us to resume class, but to keep all doors locked and not let anyone leave. The most unsettling part, though, came later when Mr. Jacobs, a janitor, found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back of the school. Rumor spread that the man had a .44 Magnum sticking out of his pocket. Unfortunately, by the time the police arrived, the man had vanished, and nobody knows to this day if he was ever caught. But I like to think that wherever he is now, he's getting the help he needs. A few months later, during lunch, another lockdown occurred. The sky was overcast, and I thought I heard the thunder, and then loud bangs echoed through the lunchroom. The entire crowd started screaming. At first, I thought it was just kids overreacting, but soon enough, the campus security rushed in and ordered everyone to go to the multi-purpose room. The kids in line buying lunch were told to throw away their food and come inside. Inside the multi-purpose room, the mood was tense, and we were all trying to figure out what was happening. My friend Mark managed to find out some details. He came back looking concerned and told us that a mentally unstable man had barricaded himself in front of his house across the street. He was threatening to commit suicide and harm anyone who tried to evict him. To make things worse, the man was a registered sex offender. We ended up staying in that room for about an hour before the all-clear signal was given, and we were escorted back to our classrooms. The whole experience left us shaken. Months later, I was back at my old high school, now working as a computer intern in the basement. The basement was messy and disorganized, but there was a small office with 3 nice desks, a flat-screen TV, but air conditioning, a luxury we didn't have upstairs. I had landed the job thanks to my old teachers, Mrs. Peterson, Mr. Johnson, and Mrs. Carter, who had always been supportive of me. It was another typical day until I got a call from the front office telling me that the school was on lockdown again. I immediately turned off the lights in my office. There was no door to lock, and I didn't want to risk being seen. I sat in the dark, texting my coworkers Eric and Jake, but neither of them responded. After a while, I heard someone running down the stairs toward my office. I quickly hid under the desk, heart racing. The footsteps drew closer, and then the door to the office opened. Whoever it was didn't turn on the lights. The silence was suffocating. I could feel every muscle tense, and I was terrified that if I moved even an inch, I'd be discovered. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Eric. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Davis. He's wearing a red shirt and a hat. Don't come upstairs. My stomach sank, and in just then, the man in the office caught my eye. He seemed to notice my suspicion and quickly asked if there was an exit downstairs. I told him there was one, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Before I could ask him who he was, I looked up at him again, and my blood ran cold. The same description from Eric's text matched his appearance. I decided to make a break for it. I bolted toward the stairs, just as I heard a gunshot echo from the basement. I made it to the top of the stairs and found that the police were already waiting at every exit. They arrested the man as soon as he opened the basement door. Thankfully, Mr. Davis, the teacher who had been shot, survived. It turned out that the man and Mr. Davis had some sort of past conflict, but the details were never revealed. The whole thing left me with a lasting sense of fear. The sound of that gunshot will forever haunt me